There we go. Bed fishing some pumpkin seeds this afternoon. It's for like an hour or two. Hoping to find a quality one. This one's decent. Just caught a free line and a leech. Nice tall back on them. At least 8.5. Maybe 8 3/4. Nice for a pumpkin seed. Here's my last leech. Amazing bait for sunfish when the bite is tough, when they've seen worms a million times already. He's looking at it. These sunfish are so smart. They've seen worms a million times before. I love the pumpkin seeds here though. It's all pumpkin seeds in this lake, no bluegill. No sunfish of any other type either. They're usually quality ones. Like, look at this, like a 8.5, 8 3/4 average, easy. It's real nice for a pumpkin seed for an average. Hoping these ones are a little more aggressive. 'Cause I'm just in the tall grass now. All I have is worms. Only brought 3 leeches because they're just like from another trip, the ones I had left over. Quality pumpkin seeds though. Those other ones were pushing 9. They're probably 8 3/4. This one's, probably 8 1/4, 8.5. These ones are a little dumber. Trying to sight fish these guys with polarized sunglasses. Being picky though, they're spitting it real fast. There's one. That's a decent one right there. Awesome. All the pumpkin seeds here are just slabs. Thick, tall in the back, decently long. That one's a solid 9. That's a nice one. I might have to come back tomorrow. Really hit this lake hard, round out this video, because I only have a couple hours tonight before I have to go to dinner. But that's a real nice pumpkin seed. 9-inch pumpkin seeds to me are like 10-inch gills. They just don't seem to get as big on average. Just trying to sight fish these guys with polarized sunglasses. There's another one. I'm definitely coming back tomorrow to catch some more. Early tomorrow morning. It's the evening right now. It's almost dinner time. These are the average ones, man. I've always known this lake has big pumpkin seeds. The average is like 8 3/4 or 9. I want to get a 10. These guys are just slabs. Like, that's 8.5, but they're so tall in the back. Whenever pumpkin seeds get longer, they always fill out a lot better in bluegills, it seems. They just get beefier, thicker, taller on the back. Just a heavier fish in general for their length. A lot of these guys are bedding just a little farther out where I still can't see them, even with the polarized sunglasses. So it goes out shallow for a little while. You can see their beds at the right angle, but I don't know. This one's so fat. This one has eggs. Probably only 8.5 though. Right around there. Set out a 3-way slip sinker egg, just winged it out into the distance. I have a whole nightcrawler on it. Something just ate it. Just leaving it set out while I bed fish these guys with the free line. Yeah, not too surprising, baby largemouth. These are quality pumpkin seeds, but only problem is there's just not a lot of beds. This is like one of the last ones that has a fresh fish in it. Oh, look at that slab. Nice. Nice quality pumpkin seed there. Probably 8 3/4, but super tall in the back. Man, that's a nice one. It might even be 9. It's a real nice pumpkin seed. Trying to use a whole fresh wiggling nightcrawler on these smarter fish. Oh, it worked. Usually a little movement helps. Oh man, I love thick pumpkin seeds. One of my favorite panfish. So pretty and so heavy for how short they are, you know. But these ones are still above average ones in length around here for sure. Most places average 7.5, 8 inches. These ones probably average 8 3/4 here. Real slabs. I'm just letting all these guys go today. Just fishing them for fun, looking for a true monster. There we go. Gotcha! He didn't want a dead worm, that's for sure. I had to put on a fresh wriggling one. Real good bait when sunfish are moody and they've been caught before. It's another quality one. It's probably 8 3/4, but super, super tall on the back. Thick, relatively heavy fish for its length. Nice pumpkin seed. One right there. I don't know how smart he is. He's not very smart. He's less educated than the rest of them, that's for sure. He's going after it right away. Come on, you can do it. Oh, you hit it and quit it. Come on, pick it back up. There you go. Gotcha. Man, still a solid one though. He looks smaller. I swear, I lost a bruiser earlier. If these ones are 8 3/4 and 9s, you know how I see them out there, then I lost a 9.5 to 10 earlier. I had him on the leech. He was super, super smart. I had him, I ripped it out of his mouth. Man, still a real nice sunfish. Oh, I think a bass just took it. Thought that was a sunfish bed. It's probably a baby largemouth bed. Couldn't quite see in it. There we go. Got him. This guy wasn't the smartest one, he wasn't the dumbest one either. Had to work him for a little while. Another quality one for sure. Over 8.5, maybe 8 3/4. A lot right around that length. That one right there looks like a good one. I know he's a smart fish. I was fishing for him earlier. Using a fresh wriggling nightcrawler. He's taking it. He's taking it all the way in. Keep going. Keep eating it. There we go. Got him this time. Yeah, it's not huge, but he's a nice one. Nice, solid pumpkin seed. You know, again, probably right around 8 3/4. Definitely in the 8.5 to 9 range. Some of these might be 9. Been putting them like this on my rod because this is the one day in my life I forgot my tape measure, so I'm gonna measure them later. A lot of them been up to like here, the W and the R. See how long they really are. These guys are the smart ones right here. Come on. He's thinking about it. These ones in the mode part are so smart. He's taking it. You want to take it all the way. There we go. These ones have seen 100 hooks before. I use just fresh wriggling worms on them. It's the only thing that works. That and leeches. And beautiful pumpkin seeds though. All of them are pretty much pushing 9 inches. There we go. Got a little guy. I love sight fishing for these things. This is like the average you get in most lakes around here. This one, closer to 8. Moving it just a little bit so he sees it. Yep, he's picking it up. Yep, he ate it. Just eat the hook now. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. I gotta get going soon. Just a couple more fish. That one's a little bit on the smaller side too. 8 1/4. Real tall back on him though. Got one right in front of me staring at it. I just had him on. If he eats it again, he's real dumb. Oh, he's so dumb. Oh my gosh. Eat it all the way down. A lot of times these smaller guys will just eat the tails and then they'll sit there for a minute. You gotta wait for them to have the hook in their mouth, obviously. See Van just sight fishing them though. I know exactly when they have the hook in. He just spat it. Shoot, he can't quite fit it all in his mouth. He's not as big as the first ones. That's for sure. Yep, the edge of the hook is just sticking out of his mouth. Come on, take it just a little more. One more bite. Come on. There you go. Right when he bit, I got him. Right on the edge of the mouth. Yep, another pumpkin seed. Seems like smaller ones over on this stretch. A lot of the bigger ones are back in the part where it transitions to deeper pretty quick. I enjoy days like this, you know, where I spend an hour catching 10 quality pumpkin seeds, as much as I enjoy the days where I get like, I don't know, 200 or so, maybe more. I had a 240 day the other day of decent ones, but you know, these just spending like an hour catching 10 quality ones is so great. Especially pumpkin seeds, because they just fill out so well. They're so tall in the back and thick and stuff. Ah, shoot, I think I got another bass. I was just blind fishing this one, but I'll put the longest pumpkin seed in the description. I don't know how long the longest one is right now, but I measured them on my rod here because I didn't bring a tape. You know, they were from here to the P, the W, the O, and the R on that word. So I'll measure that when I get back and put that in the description, whatever that is. Another bass. Trying to hit the more distant beds, but I think they're all bass beds. Perfect time to leave, I guess. I walked half the lake. I'm all out of pumpkin seed beds, believe it or not. Wasn't very many of them, minus a few fish that just wouldn't hit, but just a few quality fish is all I could find. Came back the next day at a new lake, just for a few minutes. See if I can get a few more sunfish sight fishing. Water's a little dirty here though. There's one right under that log. This lake has gills in it too. But this is a nice little pumpkin seed, started off. It's a decent one for this lake. They're a little bit smart, some of them. I've caught a lot of these guys already. But it's been a few days at least since I fished for him here. I think the last time I fished for him, I fly fished for him. So even the ones I caught, I think, are not as shy as they used to be. They're at least pecking at it. The water's kind of high on top of being murky. And that wind isn't helping either, it's making glare that my glasses can't cut through, but I still kind of know where their beds are. I've been fishing for them a lot this year. Just from the previous trips, I know where they are, so I can fish for them blind pretty easy. Another gill. That's okay size gill, I guess. You know, your standard average 8-incher. It's like a few little communities of just like 10 by 10 bedding areas that have nice gills this year. It's strange, it's different than when I used to fish them. They're mostly bedding in other spots. I used to find them in the swamp a lot, and I'd hit them with 3-way slip sinker rigs. Have, you know, 150 days average probably. But this year there's a lot tucked in on the edges. Just about every cast. That's how it should be. I just tick it along, drift and drag it over the beds. You know, as they start to get shy, you got to do it a lot slower and almost like jig it in their face. And that's when like a lively worm or a lively leech comes in handy. Oh, got a baby. You know, when they get shy, that movement makes a huge difference in your bait. Right now I'm just using pieces so I don't have any movement, but they're not as shy today. Just gradually move it along. I don't really want to hit the bottom a lot because there's so much algae. Get caught up on the hook and then the sunfish won't like it as much. Another gill. That guy slammed it. Another little gill. Shoot. There we go. No depth perception. Yeah, he's like a 7.5. It's like as far as the beds go pretty much. They tend to stay more shallow, but some of the nicer gills, like the 9+ inchers, will be just a little bit deeper bedding usually, and the pumpkin seeds will be right on the edge. Still getting mostly 8s though, but that's alright. Just want to hit a few of these better pockets here, then go catfishing this afternoon. Don't want to spend too long here. Yeah, mostly small, average size gills. Definitely on the smaller side. That guy was shy. He really didn't want it very much. These couple beds right here are mainly bluegill beds. There might be a pumpkin seed mixed in, but it's almost all bluegill. Time to use a tough bite bait on some of these smart guys here. Nice fresh wriggling nightcrawler. Look, he took it right away. That one wouldn't touch a dead one to save his life. Just gotta wait for him to get the whole hook in his mouth. That's why sight fishing really helps. You can set the hook on them right when they get the hook in their mouth. See, just barely skin lipped. That movement in your leech or your worm or whatever you're using helps so much when the conditions get tough. That guy, I got that guy right in the forehead. And a lot of times when you jig for these guys and they're super shy, especially if you're jigging from shore, they'll just keep following you up. You know, it's hard to just stick it in their face and have that movement wriggle in their face as they make a decision on it, if you know what I'm trying to say. But it's a lot easier to do that with a piece of live wriggling bait. Still got you. You know, that's why vertical jigging can help a lot. Ice fishing or fishing from a boat, you can stick it in their face and have that movement without moving it away from them. Same worm, still wiggling around. Instant hit. Funny. I'm still just catching and releasing these guys just like I was yesterday evening. Not keeping anything today. But not all of them. I can't remember which one though. I saw a back in there somewhere. It's hard to remember. There he is. Is that him? I think that's him. He's a runner, man. He wants to go with it. You gotta eat it down just for a moment, especially these whole worms. You know, keeping them whole is a good way to keep them alive and wriggling. They'll die a lot faster if you split them up. They'll lose their movement real fast, but you know, it's a double-edged sword. You have to let them eat it down, but not too far. See, if you can't see them, it's a timing thing. Yeah, that might have been him. He's not huge, but he's okay sized. A lot of 8.5s. It's funny. I've had days in here where I've gotten just, I don't know, maybe 100 plus 9-inchers. Tons, you know. Like the gills are just, the 9-inch gills are a dime a dozen. Yep, another gill. That's a little better sized one. He's alright. He's a 9-incher. You're right around there. Sometimes an 8-incher can barely choke down a whole nightcrawler. It's hard for him, you know, if you watch them like this when you're sight fishing for him. Yeah, see, this is not a big guy. Just another average one. Forgot to mention yesterday, biggest pumpkin seed I got was, you know, from measuring the marks on my rod was like 9 or 9.1, and almost all of them, you know, were real quality ones, at least 8.5. Probably at least half of them were in the 8 3/4 to 9 range. Yep, right close to me. Went out with it and then came back in. Well, I think I'll make this the last one. I think you get the idea at this point. I could keep moving along and hitting more beds and fishing this for hours, rack up a whole bunch more, but I want to do some other fishing this evening.